Okay, we've all been there, right? Staring at this mountain of super dense technical documentation. Well, today, we're going to look at a way to turn all of that text into a podcast you can actually learn from, using a pretty cool feature called NotebookLM Audio Overviews.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That critical run book, that massive postmortem you've been putting off, all that complex API documentation, what if you could basically master it just by listening? That's the exact problem we're going to tackle today. You know, for anyone in a technical role, this is just the daily reality. It feels like you're drowning in a sea of documents, and trying to find that one critical piece of info, it's like looking for a needle in a digital haystack.
Right? The pressure is on, the system is down, and now you're supposed to speed read a document the size of a short novel to find the fix. I mean, come on. This isn't just inefficient, it's a huge source of stress, and it's a major roadblock to getting things fixed quickly. There has to be a better way.
And, well, there is. NotebookLM's audio overview feature gives us a totally different way to approach this. It's not just some reader, it's a whole new way to interact with your knowledge base.
So, what is this thing exactly? Instead of a single, monotone, robotic voice just reading text at you, NotebookLM actually creates a dynamic podcast-style discussion. You get two AI hosts who don't just read your docs. They analyze them, they connect ideas, and they talk about the core concepts in a surprisingly natural conversation. And this really gets to a crucial difference. You know, basic text-to-speech, it just reads words. It's flat, it's linear, and it has absolutely no idea what the context is. NotebookLM's audio overview, on the other hand, is a reasoning tool. It actually identifies the key themes, it pieces together information from multiple documents, and it presents it all as a structured, pretty engaging conversation.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but what about the documents you actually use every single day? Let's talk about the kinds of technical sources you can feed into this AI to really turn it into your own expert co-pilot.
And this is where it gets incredibly useful. I mean, think about it. Your critical PDF runbooks, those super detailed incident postmortems, complex API docs, technical white papers, even your project plans from Google Docs or pages from Confluence. You can just upload all of it and instantly create this unified, searchable knowledge base that you can just listen to. And here's what's really powerful. You're not just a passive listener here. You actually get to direct the conversation and tell the AI hosts exactly what you want them to focus on. You're the director.
And getting it started is incredibly simple. First, you upload your sources. Then you just select Audio Overview. You pick a format and a length that you want, and then, and this is the most important step, you write a custom prompt to focus the AI hosts on what really matters to you.
Now, this is a perfect example of a really powerful prompt. So you're not just asking for a summary. You're telling the AI to zero in on a specific procedure, explain the steps, and here's the magic, contrast it with information from a completely different document. This is how you get those deep, actionable insights.
Now, like any powerful tool, it's super important to be transparent about what it can and can't do, especially since this is still an experimental product. So let's cover the key limitations you should know about.
Okay, let's break down what these limitations actually mean for you if you're using the free tier. You can have up to 50 sources in a notebook, which is actually pretty generous, but you are limited to generating 3 of these audio overviews per day. Also, for now, these advanced features are English only. And because it's experimental, you might run into some inaccuracies, so it's always a good idea to double-check any really critical information.
So let's see how this all comes together in a real-world situation. This is where the theory hits the road and actually solves a genuine problem for an engineer who's on the ground in the trenches.
This timeline really shows that transformation in action. So at 7:30 a.m., a critical issue pops up. Instead of frantically reading a 50-page document, the engineer just uploads it. By 8 a.m., they're on their commute, listening to a quick 12-minute summary of the key procedures. They walk into the office at 8:30, not just ready to get started, but already fully up to speed. That is literally turning dead time into mission-critical prep time.
And look, this isn't just about making life easier. There's real data behind the efficiency here. Research from Stanford's Digital Learning Lab actually found that professionals can process information through audio up to 3 times faster than by reading it. That is a massive performance gain. So I'll just leave you with this question. Think about that mountain of unread, underused documentation that your team relies on. What would change if you could turn all of that institutional knowledge into your new favorite commute-friendly podcast? How much faster could you solve problems?